I could see a junior developer, and I've been talking to different CTOs and CPOs around this, and some CTOs have the opinion that they no longer need a lot of junior developers, and they no longer see a need for junior developers. But I always thought that this is actually much better for junior developers too, because if it was taking them 3 or 4 years to become senior level skill, it will now take them 1 year, because in every team there's always a junior developer tagging a senior developer and asking a bunch of questions on how to do things, and now you have the cursor or GitHub Copilot acting as a senior developer upskilling the junior developer. So that has been my perspective, and I'd love your take on how you're seeing, like how much progression you're seeing in the junior
Yeah.
employees.
I think there's a couple flavors that I think what you said is true, is that you kind of when you add a junior developer in any company, like oftentimes you expect like a certain relatively small level of output compared to maybe some more senior people. But now like a person who's really good at using the latest tools is actually quite productive, and that is a big value. And so you expect to get more out of it. So like a box, like we are approaching, like I think we are right now, the most developers we've ever had, and I think that's projecting to continue. And we're not only hiring like senior people, we're hiring like people who across the whole spectrum. And we just would expect people would be able to use tools. In fact, I do believe that I anecdotally see that people who are coming out of school now, they've kind of lived through they've always known like AI assisted coding, and they're good at it. Like compared to somebody who's been around for a long time, who basically is still learning, not maybe, or like maybe some people resisted the using it. And so there's like a benefit to having new people who are really good at it. And also there's like a philosophy that like context engineering, like I mentioned, where it's like a slightly different form of the way that you do coding, where instead of traditional systems programming, like you are helping to bring context to an agent that will then be part of your application. And I think that's really critical. And a lot of times we some of our most successful context engineers are relatively junior in terms of how long they've been out of school, but really excel at that kind of thing.